Okay, our subject is Electronics 1. Today we will discuss the difference between conductors, semiconductors, and insulator. These are the three common materials that are using in electronics. Okay, first, uh, as your reference, you should have this book. You can buy it or sa mga national bookstore, meron din ito. Then ito nga yung Boylstad. Then yung Malbino, yung mga reference book nyo para sa Electronics 1. Then kasama rin yung mga electronic devices. Daily Denton, yung mga discrete integrated, 2001, tsaka yung kay Benda, yung discrete integrated power and semiconductor devices, theory and application, noong 1999. Then, pwede rin kayong bumili. Ito yung pinaka-common na ginagamit sa mga electronics na libro, yung Boylstad. Kay Boylstad Robert, that is Electronic Device Circuit Theory, 1988. By books kay Krob Bernard, 9th edition, then yung Electronic 9th edition, Engineering Math 2003. Okay, we will now start. We define conductor, semiconductor, and insulator. It can be distinguished on the ground of their conductivity and other properties. Conductors are like metal, show conductivity at room temperature. But as the temperature increases, their conductivity gets reduced. Yun ang disadvantage ng mga conductor. Since habang tumataas, nag-increase yung temperature, kasi ang room temperature natin nasa 27 degrees Celsius. Pag nag-increase siya ng mga 28, 29, is lalo siyang init, then yung conductivity niya is nag-decrease, nagre-reduce. Conductivity means ano siya ng current o kuryente, dinadaluyan. Next, however, a semiconductor acts as the insulator at low temperature, but as the temperature increases, so their conducting properties also. Yun nga, pag sinabi natin semiconductor is nasa pagitan, nasa in-between siya ng conductors at saka insulator, yung kanyang properties. That's why, at low temperature, as the temperature increases, then their conducting properties increases. The higher the temperature, as a low temperature yun, the temperature increases, so their conducting properties also. However, sa insulator naman, have no such effect. Walang problema kung mag-increase or mag-decrease. Ang insulator kasi is ano lang siya, yung mga tulad ng mga rubber. There is no conductance or no flow of current. Okay, next. Insulator and conductor can be solid, liquid, or gas. Ayun, nagde-depend siya sa mga materials. Pwede siyang solid, pwedeng liquid din, or gas. In some exemption, like glass, which an insulator become conductor when melted at the higher temperature. Pag nag-melt yung glass naman, is nagiging ano siya, conductor. From insulator, nagiging conductor yung glass. Then, on the other hand, semiconductor are present in the solid form. Mga common na semicon natin is yung mga germanium at saka yung mga silicon. Okay, next. Liquid can be conductor or insulator. It depends on the properties. Yung sinabi kanina, depende pa rin siya sa property niya. Kung ano siya, conductor or insulator. Kaya mapapansin nyo, magtataka kayo, may mga tao na na kokuryente pa rin sila sa tubig kasi nga siya, nagka-conduct siya, nakakuryente. Kumbaga dinadaluyan pa rin ng kuryente. Usually ang nangyayari kung bakit nakukuryente yung tao. Kasi ang tao is nasa conductor, kumbaga dinadaluyan ng current din. Then absolute pure water is an insulator. The liquid metals are electricity conductive. Yun nga, yung mga liquid metals, meron din siyang conductive. Nagiging conductive din yung properties niya. Then gases also become electrically conductive when ionized. So, they usually are insulator. Yun, yung gases din, nagiging ano rin siya. Usually nagiging okay, next, this is the definition of conductivity. Is the phenomena of transmitting something like heat, electricity, or sound. Ayun nga, pag sinabi natin conductivity, dito siya pumapasok. Nagtatransfer siya pwede siya mag-transfer ng sound. For example, pasin mo yung metal is magta-transfer yung sound na tunog. Is conductivity na rin yun. Then kung heat, yung mainit, is pwede rin yun. Nagtatransmit siya ng heat. Conductivity rin yun. And then yung pinaka-common nating alam is yung electricity. Nagtatransfer siya or nagtatransmit ng kuryente or dinadaluyan. So based on the conductivity, any material and the presence of forbidden gap, their material can be classified as conductor, semiconductor, or insulator. Dito papasok yung tatlo, yung mga material natin. Doon lang natin ma-identify sa tatlong mga classification na to. In the article, we will differentiate, ito yung mga di-discuss natin later, yung pagkakaiba na itong tatlo. Okay, next, as we go on, these are the common table or comparison chart between conductor, semiconductor, and insulator. Okay, start muna tayo sa conductor, meaning conductor are a substance that transmit heat, electricity, a substance or material that may act as a conductor as well as insulator under different conditions. They are known as substance that does not allow heat or electricity to pass through them. Then sa conductivity niya, mas mataas ang conductor, higher yung kanyang kasi mas flow yung current, nagpo-flow din. Semicon, ang properties niya is moderate lang yung conductivity niya. Then insulator, wala talaga siya kasi hindi naman siya dinadaluyan ng heat and electricity. Sa forbidden gap, there's no forbidden gap sa conductor. Then semicon, small forbidden gap. Then sa insulator, large yung kanyang forbidden gap. Resistivity. Dito natin makikita yung resistivity. Kung baga, for example, nag-connect ka ng resistor, makikita nyo, ang pinaka nag-resist or nag-resist ng current para hindi dumalo yung current is yung insulator, very high. Kasi nga siya, kinakounter niya yung kuryente. Then sa conductor, pinaka low siya. Kaya magiging formula ng conductivity natin is lagi siyang inversely proportional ng resistivity. Mapapansin nyo sa definition pa lang niya is low. Ibig sabihin, resistivity is equal to 1 over conductivity niya. Yun yung formula ng resistivity. Then sa conductor naman, 1 over R. Ganun ang formula natin. Kabaliktaran lagi siya. Opposite. Or inversely proportional yung dalawa. Okay, next, we have the temperature coefficient in and then negative in insulator. The unit is depends on the mho over n. It depends on the conductivity per meter. Kasi ang opposite ng resistance unit is ohms. Since the conductivity is the opposite of resistance or inversely proportional, the unit is mho. Biniligtad lang yung pangalan ng ohms, mho. Then, conductivity value, very high, syempre, sa conductors. Then, sa, ano naman, semicon, that is moderate, then negligible or sobrang baba ng conductivity is yung sa insulator. Okay, yun nga rin, parehas lang naman yung conduction and resistivity value. Then, sa current flow, yung sa conductor, it caused by presence of free electron. Kaya nagkakameron kasi ng current flow, dumadalo yung kuryente kasi meron siyang presensya ng electrons. Then, mapapansin nyo sa yung kabaliktaran niya yung insulator, it is caused by free electron which is negligible present. Then, doon sa, sa semicon, it is caused by free electron and holes. combination na ng dalawa, electrons at saka holes. Ito namang isa sa insulator. It is caused by free electrons nga rin, pero meron siyang negligible present. Kailangan pa rin present ng free electron. Hindi katulad dito sa conductor is meron na talaga siya presence. Okay? Next. Valence electron, yung value niya is sa conductor is only one valence electron in the outermost shell. Then, pagdating naman sa semicon is 4 valence electron in the outermost shell. Kung iano natin, minsan, some these questions in the board exam, conductor means 1 up to 3 valence electron, then semicon, 4 valence electron. It's a standard that we should be remember. Then the other one is insulator. There are 8 valence electron in the outermost shell. Bands, conductor are formed by metallic bands. The metals is conductor. They have flowing the current flow on it. Then semiconductor are formed by covalent band. Means it should be form or combination of the two materials to be formed. Then insulator are formed by ionic bands. Okay, that is a standard also. We should know it. Then these are the examples of materials that are categorized in these three. We have first conductor. Example is yung mga gold, bronze, silver, mercury, copper. Yan yung pinaka-common natin din. Then brass. Then in this one, semiconductor. If you are as an electronic engineer, if you work in a semicon, this example is silicon and aluminum. Then another one is also germanium. Okay, that is common. Semicon. Then another one in insulator, we have mica, rubber, wood, paper. It means some these materials doesn't have current to flow on it. Okay, next. Okay, these are short definition. Okay, the conductor, material substance that allow electricity to flow through them are known as conductor. The process occurs because conductor enable the electrons to flow from one atom to another by an application of voltage. Kaya nagpo-flow, once na nag-flow yung ating electron, doon nagkakameron ng current. Then yung force na natutulak sa current is voltage. Then the phenomenon of transferring the heat and electricity in a substance as known as conductivity. Okay? Nagiging conductivity na yung terms niya kapag nag-transfer na yung heat at saka electricity. Okay, next. Electrical conductor can be metals, non-metals, conductive, polymer, graphite, metal alloy, electrolyte, gold, aluminum, steel, copper, and brass. These are the typical examples which we already encounter in our daily life. Then most common is of conductor is the elemental silver. As said above, the conductor are mostly solid. Yung mga natin, conductor is usually solid siya or solid metals that are molded into wires. Yun, mga ginagamit natin sa mga wire na pang-connect is mga conductors. Tsaka yung mga kinakonect natin sa mga ating circuit board, mga conductors yan. Pag nag-test tayo ng mga current at saka mga resistor, mga kinukuha natin yung value, gumagamit tayo ng mga wire. This is a conductor also. Next. Mercury is the best example in case of liquid as a conductor. Kung meron tayong solid na conductors, meron din tayong liquid. Ito na nga yung mercury. Example ng liquid as a conductor. Then gases are poor in conductor, but when ionized, pag ina-ionize natin yung gases is magiging good conductor din siya. So we can say that earth, animal, human's body, and metals are the conductor. Yun nga, kahit hayop is nakakuryente rin sila. Kumbaga, nadadaluyan din sila. Since yung katawan natin, usually nakakuryente rin tayo kasi nga conductors din tayo. Then mapapansin nyo, sa mga electrical company, pag naano kayo sa industry, is ginagamit natin as a ground yung earth. Kasi nga, inaanuan din siya, dinadaluyan din siya ng kuryente. Kaya yung best safe natin, i-ground natin yung ating earth. Yung ground natin is nasa earth. Naka-earth dapat, nasa ground. Okay? Parang ano siya, safety protocol. Kailangan naka-ground lagi. Yung isa nating connection para maiwasan yung kuryente. Safety protocols yun. Usually, kapag nagtrabaho kayo sa industry, ang color ng cable ng ground is color green, na stripes. Ayun. Then, yun. Then, kinakabit siya usually sa mga transmitter tsaka mga receiver as a safety. Hindi lang dun sa tao, tsaka para rin dun sa gamit, para hindi masira. Okay, next. Metal are conductors that allow transition of heat and electricity from one point to another. Next. Ano na tayo sa next topic. Application ng conductors. Iron is used in manufacturing of the vehicle engine to conduct heat. Iron plate is made of steel to absorb more heat. Then aluminum is used in cooking utensils. Yung ginagamit din natin sa pagluluto yung mga aluminum. Then because nag-store siya ng heat, then even they are used in packing the food. Pag-package ng food din, pwede rin. Then mercury is used measuring the temperature of the body. Ginagamit. Then is used as in thermometer. Siyempre kasi natatransmit yung heat, then nako-compute na nung thermometer natin. Ang ginagamit doon sa thermometer na yun is yung mercury. That is a liquid conductor. Okay, we already done with the conductor. We are now going to the semiconductor. Okay, materials that have the character to behave like conductors as well as insulator under different condition. Yun nga, depende pa rin sa condition kung yung semicon natin is magiging insulator or magiging conductor. We can also say that such material whose conductivity lies between conductor and insulator. Yun nga, tinatawag din siyang non-conductor, yung semicon natin. Next. Okay. Usually, yung mga semicon natin is makikita natin sa mga electronic components. Yung mga yan. Yung mga capacitor. Tsaka yan. ICs. Okay. Semiconductors are used in the making of the various electronic devices like transistor, yung makikita kanina, mga integrated circuits, mga diodes. Yun. Dito sa tatlo na to, doon natin ma-classify yung mga semicon. Ito yung mga components na electronics. Ito yung IC, diodes, tsaka yung mga transistor. Yun yung mga example ng semicon. These devices are, reliable. Ibig sabihin magandang gamitin. Mas mura, mas low cost. Kasi mura lang naman yung mga diodes natin, tsaka transistor. Then, easy to use, mas madaling gamitin. And power and efficient, yun, pinaka maganda yung power niya. Then, efficient din siya gamitin. It means accurate siya. Then, yung mga electronics na to, is yung mga example is yung germanium, silicon, tellurium, tin, and other metal oxide are few example of the semicon. Okay, next. These are the application of semiconductors. Semiconductors are used in power devices that also include light emitter, including solid state laser. Ito na yung mga application niya, optical sensors, ginagamit din doon. Then, They have voltage and current handling capabilities, and they are considered as future elements in manufacturing electronic devices like industrial, control equipment, communication with data processing. Yun nga, ginagamit natin to. Yung mga ito sa power devices, yung mga ano natin, diodes, IC, then light emitter, sakop niya rin, then optical sensor. Sa light emitter is, ang mini-measure natin dito is yung mga light or yung, pwede rin siya yung mga photodiodes. Kung mapapansin nyo, another example lang nag-answer ka doon, then yung magme-measure nun, kung tama yung sagot mo is yun yung mga photodiode. Then pag naharangan yun, yung ilaw, masasense niya na yun yung tamang sagot. Then mame-measure niya yun through, ang binabasa lang kasi doon is yung lapis na Mongol 2 or 3. Yun yung application niya, example. Next. Tapos na tayo dun sa dalawang classification. Meron na tayo. Yung pangatlo naman is yung tinatawag nating insulators. Insulator are the substance whose character are different from conductors and they do not allow heat or electricity to pass through them. Yun. Ang ka-advantage ng insulator, kung makukuryente ka sa conductor, sa insulator naman is hindi. Ito na yung ginagamit natin para sa mga safety natin. Katulad niyang kung nag-aayos kayo ng kuryente, usually yung ating doon ginagamit na pliers, yung plier, is meron siyang insulator or yung rubber para hindi tayo makuryente. Then, the reason for not allowing the heat or electricity to flow in this substance or resistivities and they don't have any free electrons. Yun nga, since wala siyang free electrons, di nagpo-flow or walang present doon ng electron, walang kuryente doon. Okay, next. Ito yung these are the example of insulator. Mostly solid. This is glass, mica, rubber, quartz. Yung quartz is mapapansin natin to sa mga relo. Yung quartz crystal. Then wood, yung kahoy, wool, plastic. Usually plastic ang kasi insulator eh. Ang plastic tinatawag din siyang term na sa polymer. Kung meron kayong engineering materials, yan ang tawag sa kanya. Are some typical example of insulator. Then one of the significant advantages of insulators are that they act as a protector. Yung sinabi ko kanina, against heat, electricity, and form of stick design na subject. Usually, ang mga insulator natin doon is yung mga carpet, yan, para hindi magiging soundproof siya, hindi siya makikinig sa labas pag nag-design ganyan. Kasi ang kino-compute doon is reverberation time niya, yung sound para hindi lumabas doon. Kasi ina-absorb ng carpet. And yun nga, yung mga chair kasali rin siya, mga sa insulator. Then kung mapapansin nyo, pag mas madaming tao sa isang lugar, yung noise, yung ingay ng tao, is kino-convert siya sa heat. Kaya mapapansin nyo, sobrang init pag sobrang daming tao. Yun. Tapos sabay-sabay silang nagsasalita. They too much take sound, then that sound will be converted to heat. Then sobrang init na. Kaya yan. Next. Okay, these are some application of insulator. We have the common, that is rubber. Commonly used as fire-resistant clothes, cars, sleeper, as they are good insulator. Okay. Kaya mapapansin nyo, pag sa fire kasi, nagkasunog, yung mga carpet natin, pag tinanggalan mo kasi ng oxygen yan, is mamamatay na yung apoy. Kasi yun yung isa ring materials isang composition ng apoy yung oxygen. Pag tinanggal natin yung oxygen, through using our clothes as an insulator, then the fire will not be gone, okay? Sa electrical insulator, are used in the high voltage system, electric circuit board as the insulating material. Yun nga, insulating material natin. Kumbaga yung mga safety. Since we have insulating material, the current will not flow on it. Okay. Then hinder the flow of electron as well as current through them. Okay, next. Insulating materials are also covered over the electric cables and wire. Okay. Sa mga usually kasi I worked before in Bahrain as electronics technician and electronics. Cable na yun, meron dong metal, then meron kang makikita insulating material doon. Usually mga siya, plastic and para siyang chalk. That insulating material is become the protection of the cable para hindi siya masira. Then para rin hindi magkameron ng connection ng current dun sa isang cable na kasi ang cable natin kasi magkakadikit yan pag pinagsama-sama. Since meron siyang insulating material, hindi siya magkakameron ng connection. Yun, safety pa rin siya. Then, sa woolen clothes, blanket that are also winter to keep the body warm. Yun nga, pag meron kang damit na clothes na masyadong makapal, yun, hindi rin tayo malalamigan, kumbaga meron ng body warm. Okay, next. Okay, para mas madali lang maintindihan natin, ito yung pinaka-quick summary natin. Conductors are the substance or materials that transmit heat, electricity through them. Then insulator are the substance or material that does not transmit heat, electricity through them. Then advantage ng conductor have high conductivity, while semicon has moderate and insulator have low conductivity. Okay, this is also the forbidden gap. The classification, the gap between the valence band and conduction band is not found in conductor, while there is a small forbidden gap in semiconductor, and the large forbidden gap is seen in insulator. Yan yung mga classification o yung properties ng itong tatlo ng conductor, insulator, tsaka yung semicon. Okay, mapapansin natin sa resistivity, parang yung resistor. Since ang definition ng resistor is resist current, resistivity, the property of the resistance to measure the electrical conduction, okay? Which is low since the conductor is opposite or inversely proportional resistor or resistance. It has low and very high in insulator, which is while moderate in semiconductor. The higher the resistance, the low the value of the conductor because it is inversely proportional. Next. Okay, conductivity value. Higher is in the conductivity value, then that is 10 raised to negative 7 mho per meter. Then in resistivity value of conductor is less than 10 raised to negative 5 ohms per meter, while the semiconductor holds the value of 10 raised to negative 5 ohms, then negative 2 meter to 10 raised to 5 ohms per meter, and insulator are having more than 10 raised to 5 ohms per meter. Mga ito ay mga standard value naman yan, hindi naman nagbabago yan. Okay, next. There's only one valence electron in the outermost shell in conductor, that is the value 1 up to 3. Then in semicon, that is 4 valence electron. This is only a quick review. We already discussed it before. Conductor formed by metallic bonding, then semicon formed by covalent bonding, then insulator formed in ionic bonds. And these are the example of conductors: gold, bronze, silver, mercury, copper, brass, and whereas silicon and aluminum, tin, and germanium in the semicon. While in the insulator, we have mica, rubber, wood, wool, paper, and etc. Okay, that is the only example. Okay, we go on now with the properties of extrinsic and intrinsic difference of these two. Why there is an importance of materials processing? These are importance. That's why we process materials. All electronic devices and system are made of materials, various combination. Okay, bago natin kasi magawa yung isang electronic device is combination of the raw materials as from final electronic product. Then, pinaka-common na semicon, we have silicon, germanium, gas, and ga used for devices must be extremely high purity and crystalline order. Okay? Okay, these are desirable device qualities. Strong functionality, yung mga electronics natin kasi since madami siyang gamit din, is also should be the material also reliable and long lifetime. Katulad ng yung for example, yung LED natin meron siyang matagal na gamit. Then it should be ang quality dapat ng materials, low cost, mura, high energy efficient, mura na tapos mas nagpo-provide siya ng energy. Tapos accurate din siya. Then small volume. Usually yung mga electronics natin, small volume yan maliliit lang. Then lightweight, magaan, then yun nga. Sa katulad nung sa ating mga mobile phone, maliliit lang yung mga electronics component doon . Then tsaka yung mga notebook PC nyo, netbook, yung mga ganun. iPad, then iPhones, yun yung mga example. Okay, next. Particles, line, and rigid bodies versus real materials. Material-specific properties determine the function and processing details of material. Then, we should have also comprehensive knowledge of material processing. Then, it takes, ang pag-process kasi ng mga materials, bago siya pinag-aaralan yan within 5 to 10 years learning at practice. Then, advantage and role of physics students. Okay, these are example of insulator, conductor, semicon from energy band structure. Okay, as you can see, we have the conduction band empty, then forbidden region. Then doon sa kabila naman sa conduction band niya is EG niya is less than 5 valence electron. Then nagkakameron ng electron hole. Ayan, merong negative positive. Yun yung sa semiconductor. Kaya mapapansin nyo sa insulator, ang band gap na greater siya sa 5 valence electron. Then kapag sa semiconductor, ang electron valence electron natin is less than. Okay? For example, ito nga yung insulator natin, silicon oxide, we have Eg equals to 9 electron volts, yung kanyang energy gap. Then mapapansin nyo sa silicon naman, yung kanyang energy gap is 1.1 electron volts. Ito yung mga constant to. Sa electronics, sa mga engineer naman o kaya computer engineer, dapat alam nyo rin to yung mga constant. Then 0.75 electron volts naman siya sa germanium, sa gas naman siya, gallium arsenide. Ang energy gap is 1.42. Okay? Makikita nyo sa yan, yung insulator at saka semiconductor. Then yung sa isa is yung sa silicon at saka germanium. Next. Okay, these are the drawing or the figure in intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductor. Dito makikita natin yung form ng intrinsic semiconductor. In intrinsic semiconductor, carriers come from valence electron. Magsisimula kasi bago mag-carry yon yung isa, magsisimula muna siya, manggagaling yung sa valence electron excitation para magkameron ng effect. Then key is effective control of charge carrier. Yun. Kung paano ito yung flow ng ng current. Pag nagkameron kasi ng flow ng electron, doon magkakameron ng flow ng current. Dito sa intrinsic, manggagaling yun sa from valence electron excitation. Kumbaga excitation, ilalagay siya. Kumbaga manggagaling sa iba. Makikita nyo kasi dito sa drawing. Ito yung mga ano niya, mga charge carrier. Then sa meron tayong sa semicon. Mamaya makikita natin yung drawing ng mga N-type tsaka P-type. Sa drawing na to is yung N-type, makikita nyo, pip valence. Sa P-type naman is siya, naka-void, kumbaga wala dun sa P-type. Katulad nito sa boron, impurity, kumbaga boron yung nandito. Then nagkakameron ng tinatawag tayong pagsasama ng combination ng mga purity, yung tinatawag siyang dope semiconductor. Then minsan tinatanong din yan, anong meaning yung doping? Ibig sabihin nagko-combine yung dalawang impurity. Katulad dito. Next. Yun nga, discuss natin para mas lalo nating malaman. Okay, ang pinagkaiba ng intrinsic at saka yung extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, the pure form of semiconductor is known as intrinsic. Pag pure yung form ng semiconductor is wala siyang halo or hindi siya nahaluan ng ibang form, this is called intrinsic. From the word intrinsic, inside, kumbaga sarili niya lang. Next, in the semiconductor in which intentionally impurities is added, yun nga, nag-added ka ng other impurities to make it conductive, para maging conductor siya or conductive pagkadaloy ng kuryente, ang tawag naman sa kanya is extrinsic semiconductor. It is called intrinsic semiconductor. Pag nag-add ka ng intentionally impurities, okay? That is the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic. Extrinsic, from the word extrinsic, external or from other, okay? Okay, next. These are the some formula we have here in longitudinal conductance, then longitudinal resistivity. Sa mga libro, meron na rin kasi ito, 1 over yung kanang alpha. Then the Hall coefficient, already also a formula. Then if electron is dominant carrier in the material, then we have yung kanyang inductance 1 over yung kabaliktaran niya, opposite. Okay. Carrier density, may mga example problem din naman to. Yan nga, E, RH, then inversely, and mobility, mu E equivalent to negative RH over P. Okay. Ito yun kasi, ang kasi natin, for example, meron kasi tayong mga formula sa electronics na nagde-depend kasi yun sa thickness at saka yung resistivity ng isang wire. Pag doon natin malalaman siya yung tinatawag natin kung yung wire natin is suitable ba siya sa conductance. Doon natin mako-compute yun. Magde-depend siya sa length at saka thickness ng wire. Kaya mapapansin nyo, yung mga wire natin is meron siyang maliit, meron ding malaki. Depende kasi yun sa current na paggagamitan. Nung dati, may nakikita ako mga kable ng mga kuryente. Kasi since high voltage naman siya, sobrang laki yung mga kable talaga. Kung maliit lang naman yung current natin paggagamitan, yung size ng ating wire is mas maliit. Next. Okay, we have the sample is silicon and gallium arsenide gas. Ito yung EG niya, energy gap 1.1 electron volts. Then energy gap naman sa gallium arsenide is 1.43 electron volts. Okay, that is the difference. Then makikita nyo sa energy gap, that is yung K natin, yung coefficient ng resistivity is nagde-depend siya kung tumataas yung energy gap. Ayun. Then, ito lang yung definition niya, yung sa semicon na silicon, indirect band gap, ineffective. Since siya, indirect. Pero dun sa gallium arsenide naman is yung direct band gap, effective naman to. Yung materials naman. Okay? Makikita nyo rin sa conduction band, meron tayong tinatawag na Sa electronics kasi meron tayong terms. Kapag negative, that is negative polarity, tinatawag siyang electron. Then kapag sa ano naman siya, ang polarity niya is positive, tinatawag siyang hole. Sa ibang libro, tinatawag naman siyang depende siya kung anode or cathode. Constant lang naman to, silicon, energy gap 1.1 electron volts. Then yung kanyang familiar na rin naman kayo sa wavelength, that is 1,100 nanometer. Wavelength niya yon, yung lambda. Makikita nyo. Then sa gallium arsenide, energy gap is 1.4 electron volts. Then wavelength niya is lambda 873 nanometer. Then aluminum arsenide is energy gap is 2.23 electron volts. Then ang lambda niya o yung tinatawag nating wavelength, that is 556 nanometer. Okay, next. Okay, dumaloy na tayo dun sa mga type ng semiconductor. Ito yung mga basic devices natin, electronics. Sa diode, makikita nyo, tawag niya is PN. Meron tayong sa P-type tsaka N-type. These are metal semiconductor contacts. Then sa mga BJT, mga transistor natin, yung bipolar junction transistor, ang ano naman niya is combination na siya, PNP. Then makikita nyo yung cathode tsaka yung ano natin, yung side ng kabila. Okay, yung E, yung emitter side natin, ito yung base niya. Then yung isa yung C niya, collector. Familiar naman guys sa bipolar junction transistor, no? Yung tatlo. Yung emitter, base, saka yung collector. Yun. Ito yung sa PNP, okay? Next naman sa JPET, meron tayong S at saka D. Combination naman siya, B plus sa N-type sa gitna, then P plus naman siya. Itong G is yung gate niya, then yung D naman niya dito, tsaka yung tapos ito meron siyang depletion region. Kabaligtaran kasi yung base ang tawag sa kanya sa bipolar, kapag pag JPET na siya, tinatawag na siyang gate. Okay, pero pares lang din yung application o gamit nun. Okay, next. Sa metal oxide semiconductor FET or MOSFET, ito, meron siya, dito yung S, then gate yung sa gitna, then dito yung sa D. Okay, that is inversion region. Okay, mamaya na yung question na pagkatapos lang itong discussion din. Okay, next. Real device structure in IC, yung bipolar transistor natin at saka MOSFET, ganun na itsura. Tsaka sa diode. Ito yung sa diode, yung N plus tsaka P. Then, ito naman yung sa MOSFET. Yung kanina, yung S is tinatawag nating source at saka drain. Kasi hindi ko masyado na kanina. Gate naman yung isa. Kung nakita nyo, yan, ito yung source, yung S. Tapos yung gitna is gate. Then yung D naman siya kanina. Yung tinatawag nating drain. Okay. Minsan, lumalabas sa board exam, what is the equivalent of base in bipolar transistor in junction field effect transistor? Ang base is magiging ano siya, yung gate naman ng equivalent. Okay, next, ito yung mga reviewer lang sa inyo as long as you go on in electronics. Ang electronics 1 is related din kasi siya sa circuits 1 and circuits 2. Since yung mga formula na is common, dapat alam niyo na rin to. You should be familiarized with this one. We have Kirchhoff law, voltage law, the sum of all the voltage drop around the loop. Pagpaplasin niyo lang B1 plus B2 plus B3. Then resistance ohm, series, pagpaplasin niyo lang R1 plus R2, then parallel 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. Or pag marami na siya, 1 over 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. Nasa taas yung 1. Next. Kapag yun capacitance. Since kabaligtaran yung capacity, resistant, yung resistant kasi nag-resist ng current, capacitance naman is formula nung sa series ng resistance. Ipa-plus nyo lang yun, C1 plus C2 plus Cn. Then sa series, 1 over C1, 1 plus over C2. Okay, inductance naman. Inductance, unit is Henry, series, L1 plus L2, then yun. Then parallel naman siya, 1 over L1 plus 1 over L2. Okay. Yan na itsura ng mga capacitance at saka yung inductance. Okay, thank you.